October 20th, it was AWS that went down. October 29th, it was Azure. And now today, they have gone for the hat trick, and now it's Cloudflare that is down. Like, what is happening right now? In order to quantify what's happening here, I want to introduce you guys to a concept known as the 5 nines rule, not to be confused with Royce to 5-9. The 5 nines rule is generally a goal, but it's also a contractual obligation that many of these companies like Microsoft and Amazon and Google have in order for their services to be up and operational for 99.99% of the year. And when those services aren't live for that short period of time, that means that there are no billable hours, these businesses can't operate. That is a lot of money that is getting thrown out the window. But here's a brief breakdown of what that actually means. So let's say your services are only up for 90% of the time, which means it's down for 10% of the year. That's about 36 days, which is so high. That is, out of the entire year, 36 days, that is catastrophe level. So obviously the bar needs to be raised. What about 99% of the time? Well, that's 3.65 days out of the year. Not as bad, but still, that's a lot of billable hours that are being just absolutely removed from these contracts. 99.9% uptime would equate to only 8.77 hours of downtime throughout the year. And for end users like you and me, that's not as bad. You know, PlayStation Network goes down all the time, things like that. It's not a big deal. But for these businesses, it is big money. So we need to go deeper. 99.99% uptime means it's only down out of the year for 52.6 minutes. That's pretty good. Sprawled out throughout the entire year, but the standard is 99.999% of the time, which is about 5 minutes out of the entire year. The standard is 5 minutes, which means every minute that AWS or Azure or Cloudflare stays down, that is money off the table that is just slowly getting pilfered away. So when you look at these big figures of billions of dollars being, wasted, where is it coming from? It's because of this super high standard that these businesses have to keep their services online. Personally, it excites me as someone who likes to build networks. We look at certain services and we could take them for granted every day, but the physical attributes that are required to keep those services running and the redundancies and the design aspect of it is something that super duper interests me, which is why, like, when I think of these services going down, I'm trying to figure out, despite not ever working for any of these companies or anything near the scale of what they're doing, what could possibly be going wrong for all these services to be going offline within a month's span? Honestly, it feels like these companies are just getting too big for their own good, like we've capitulated too much to start up a small tech company and sell it to Google, put the tech company in the bag. But I don't know what recourse we have. We could just, start diversifying again. I do know that a lot of companies are trying to bring their cloud infrastructure back in-house, which is great for me. That'll give me a job eventually, hopefully soon. I don't know. But